is that I should wear like some shirts like your shirts. It's that I don't have the good one right now. I look like really like a jerk. Like, really.
Hey, you should have seen me like maybe 30 minutes ago. I was still wearing like a robe, like a bathrobe.
You know what? Just give me a second. Let me wear shirts. Just a second.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Double R Network. As always, I am your host, Rusty, and today we have a guest of ours. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Luca. I'm sorry, folks, if I'm not there physically, but for obvious reason, I'm calling you through a FaceTime. Greg and I, we met like years ago. We've been always in touch, and he asked me to stay here and answer to all your questions, and here I am.
Thank you so much, Luca, for hopping on here and taking a sec to speak with us. Part of the reason why I really wanted to reach out to you and talk to you today was some family and some friends that you have are in some of the most heavily affected areas by what's going on right now with the viral impact here. So can you tell us a little bit about maybe your ties and what you know?
Well, basically everything has started like I would say March 1st. So I was always in touch with my family. They're in Sicily right now. So Sicily is an island, and it's the southern part of Italy. And there was not so many effects in that area. However, the part that got hit very bad was the northern part, which is Milan and Bergamo. So all that area was completely like people were dying. So what they did, basically, they were trying to contain all the sick people in that territory. But the prime minister says, like, we're going to contain everybody. So nobody has to move, stay at home. Everybody got panicked. Even lots of people, they got threat about that. So what they did, basically, they took a train at midnight, the last train from Milan that takes south. So instead of containing the virus started getting spread out all over Italy. So instead of having dead people in the northern part, now you hear people from Rome, from Florence, Venice, and the rest of the Italy. So now the situation is getting really tough because it's not only that, but it's that you don't know who has that virus, and you still see people they're taking a train to go back home, their home, family home. The governor of Sicily decided to close the frontier, but there was one case of this woman. She got a little bit too much scared, and she swam from Italy to Sicily. There's little section. I'm not kidding. This woman literally swam from Calabria to Sicily.
Yeah.
And she got there, but the cops got them. They got her.
Yeah.
So they put her to jail. So right now,
for trying to escape from the quarantine, or for
trying to, because right now, so this is what's happening right now. So they're locked down everything. They shut down the entire, not city, but the entire Italy states. So nobody's allowed to go out. They closed all the bars, all the restaurants. And I could send you like a couple of videos that I received from my friends from Italy. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
You don't see people on the street. It's a ghost. Everybody, they're home. So to contain the situation, they're trying to, the cops, the military, they're running around cities. And if they see you, they put you in jail.
No kidding. Just like that, right away, without no questions asked.
If you don't have any, so basically the prime minister gave us like a letter where you have to fill out that letter and say what the main reason is for you to go out. So if you go for a grocery store and you have that piece of paper, you're fine. If you go out and you don't have that piece of paper, you go to jail for 3 years.
For 3 years?
Yes, sir. Because
oh my goodness.
It is considered like you're trying to kill other people. Because maybe it won't affect you, obviously.
Yes.
But you might kill other people. Like what happened in a small little village close to my hometown. This girl was on that train that night. And she went to visit her grandfather the same day, the next day, and everybody in that area got the coronavirus now. Everybody.
Because she brought it to that little area.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
So right now, my parents, they're locked at home.
Yeah.
They have somebody deliver the food at home.
Yeah.
But the last news was really bad because there's no jobs, obviously. Nobody's working. The prime minister didn't give us any money so far.
Yeah.
And the crime is getting higher now. So what's happening is that if you go to grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
there's some guy waiting for you outside to take your food. They're stealing your food.
No kidding. He's got like a knife ready to go, just or what's the method? How do they get you?
So basically, they're staying outside. They see people that they go to the grocery store. Once you go out with the cart, they follow them to their car, and they're saying like, "Give me all your food, or I'm going to kill you."
Holy shit!
So they already got like 3 people doing that because there's no food. The prime minister, they didn't give us any money. So obviously, when you have kids and you have to survive, there's nothing you can do. You have to do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
So it's a really tough situation. The thing that scares me is that people, they could become crazy and they could do anything to get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they could also go to your private property, get into your house, and steal everything. So my main fear is for my parents.
Yes.
They don't have, because guns, it's illegal having guns over there. So you have to call the cops. So, but by the time that the cops will jump into my parents' property, my parents, they'll be already dead. So it's weird. It's really bad right now. And I'm living every day with this fear. And also, another thing that I forgot to mention is that if you want to go out to the grocery store, yes, true story, you need to have a piece of paper, but you have to wear masks and gloves. Without that, you cannot go outside. So ever since I heard about this quarantine situation in my country, I decided to do the same.
Yes.
Because here is true, people might have the virus and they don't know that they have it, obviously. But they can kill other people. Mm-hmm. You know, they could kill them.
Yes.
So I decided to lock myself at home and try to go to the grocery store once in a while, try to keep the distance.
Yeah.
But as you know, it's kind of hard to find gloves and masks, and so I'll go like that and try to risk it. But that's the best that I can do.
Yeah, seriously. Because I mean, as a through the studies that the doctors and research has shown, 80% of the people are showing very little to minimal symptoms of this sickness, but they could be carrying the virus and spreading it to just about everyone they touch. And I think it was like 17 days this virus can last on cardboard or something
15.
like that. Yeah, almost half a month it can last on something that we can pass around to each other. I mean, even through the mail. If we're shipping things to each other, it could still be passed. Exactly, payments. We could be handling cash, and all of a sudden it's gone to 3 or 4 different people. Also I think there was an incubation period of 2 to 14 days. So 14 days. Even before you're showing any symptoms at all, you could be carrying and spreading it as well. So I fully understand the need for people to be wearing gloves, to be putting on face masks, to stay inside and stay away from each other for just a little bit to calm everything down. As of I think yesterday, as of Sunday, there is now nearly 100,000 cases in Italy, as well as 100,000 cases here in the States. Just about. And Italy, the death toll is absolutely crazy. I think it is up to 10,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 10,000 since everything has started. Yes.
Yes.
And nowadays they estimate 700 people died today, so it's less than 2 days before. 2 days before, they estimate over 1,000 people passed away like 2 days ago. So 700, although it sound like a really high number, it's better than. But you said right. we can carry that virus. We have like some kind of symptoms, which is true. And most of the people I heard, like 25% of these people here, they survive. So
Yes.
there's a like high chance of people that could die, but at the same time they can survive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not true that the virus attacked just the people, the old people,
Oh
because
yeah,
anybody like 35, 41 years old people, they could die.
yeah.
And as a matter of fact, one of my friend's father passed away because of that. He was 56.
Yeah.
So it was not that old. He was, working out every day,
Yeah.
taking good care of himself, and got that virus and passed away immediately. So it's really tough.
It's absolutely scary, and I'm terribly sorry to hear that about your friend's father.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hearing about someone who was just admitted. He was a fitness instructor, 39 years old, and he's now on a ventilator. And so, I mean, even though in the beginning it was thought that people of younger age or healthier fitness, maybe they aren't smoking or they aren't drinking or don't have high blood pressure, whatever it may be, might be better off. But I mean, now it's almost looking like it could be down to something else. There was a suggestion that it could have been down to genetics, possibly blood type, some other factors. No, I don't know if any of that's been confirmed, but I mean,
don't know. You and I, we're not a doctors, we're not a scientist, but
yeah.
I heard because I'm always in touch with my family back home
Yeah.
and my friends. They're all saying that they found like a cure, kind of cure in Japan. There's a pill. It's called the Avigan pill. Since 2012, this pill was around, and they tested in Japan, and they got like an amazing result. So what they're doing right now, they brought this type of cure, because it's a pill, to the northern part of Italy, and they've seen like 45% of these people here, they found a cure. So there's a hope in a way.
Yeah.
It's called Avigan. Avigan. Have you heard about it?
Avigan? No, I haven't. I mean, even if it just reduces the amount of people who are fatally sick, I mean, that'll make a huge difference in the people that really need those ventilators and life-saving techniques. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought at one point you had mentioned in the past that you do have family members that were in the healthcare system.
Yeah. Well, my dad, he's a doctor.
Okay.
Actually. So my dad, he retired, obviously. But you know what the funny part is of all of this? Well, my dad decided to jump in, even though he retired, and they take him because they need people right now.
Yeah.
They ran out of doctors. So even if you're retired, you can decide to jump into the field and go on the prime line right there and help them. So my dad, he's one of them.
No kidding.
Yeah. And he sent us a picture of this wearing a mask, the goggles, the mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is right now. They need people. Just to give you an idea.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know, but they are so desperate to looking for some help that the people that they starting to graduate in to become a doctors, once that they're done, they want them immediately, because normally you need like a training, like a couple of years of training. They want them right now to go on the field. So they got hired like they posted like, we need like 100 doctors. They answered to this question. They answered to this announcement like 600 doctors.
No kidding.
So yeah. So it's like, wow. It's very, nice to hear this, how the young people, the new generation,
yes,
they put themselves into this situation, and it's really nice.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's going to be great too for boosting a little bit of their economy as well. Because with a lot of people uncertain with their jobs, being streamlined right into the field, get in there, get your job experience hands on, will probably help the healthcare sector, at least through a difficult time. Do you know if this is going to be something that's long lasting after it's over? Are they automatically in the field, or do they have to go back to their apprenticeships? Or
No, from my understanding, they're officially like considered doctors officially, so they can stay there. So they
Nice.
graduate and then they could stay there officially. So they don't have to wait a couple of more years to become officially doctors.
Yeah.
But you have to be like one of the best on your field. You have to be one of the best once that you graduate. You have to graduate with the maximum numbers, and lots of people they pass in that, so it's a good thing. About the economy that you mentioned before, right now it's kind of tough because we're focusing obviously in tourism and Rome, Venice. I don't know if you, because as an Italian, I have to follow the Catholic religion, right? So I
Well,
follow the church too, and
uh,
yeah.
no, I was going
So
to say. I mean, Italy was running into a little bit of money problems before this
yeah,
this
yeah,
outbreak happened. So, I mean,
yeah.
what's your thoughts on?
So
Yeah.
right now, what I believe, number one thing, this is not only my thought, but many Italians that they're experiencing this situation.
Uh huh.
Number one, we want to get out of European Common. EU is not worthy.
Yeah.
EU, they never gave us some help. We asked Germany and France to give us some help.
Mm-hmm.
They refused because they refused that because they had priority to help their own people. So the people that helped us were Chinese people, Cubans, and Russian that helped us. Although we're part of the EU,
Mm-hmm.
we never got any support from them. So the first thought, we have to get out of there. Second of all, to restart the new economy, the new system, we need to print the money like that and give them some money to the people right now, or support them with the food, with the groceries food, because there's no way that you can start right now. Everything is closed. Even my favorite bar, it's closed. There's nothing,
That's
and
crazy.
nobody can go.
I did have a question. I think at one point, I don't know how many years ago it was, when Italy was first starting to fall into financial crisis there. Didn't the EU send some money to help bail out at one point?
They kind of did. You're right. Yes, they had some crisis because, as a matter of fact, we sold our airline company,
Oh,
Alitalia. It's not Italians anymore. It's German.
oh, interesting.
We sold lots of. Imagine Ducati. Have you ever heard about Ducati?
Of course, of
It's
course.
it's
Beautiful
not Italian
bikes.
anymore. It's German now.
Oh
So
gosh, I've been riding a
yeah,
BMW this whole time.
yeah. So we sold lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So EU gave us some money to help the economy situation, but it didn't go that well because I believe that it's a very old country and they need to rebuild like the streets that are the street that you have here, guys, are amazing. In Italy, streets are really bad. Depends where you go,
Mm,
especially in the southern part. But don't I don't understand how where all the money goes. Honestly, I don't work in that industry, unfortunately, and I really would love to know more about it.
yeah.
But yeah, EU gave us some money, but we invested not in the right way, I believe.
Well, okay. If you're still a part of the EU, you said that you do need a lot of capital to get everyone, all the Italians, up and fed and back on the right track. Do you think the EU could help out in that way, or is it best that you
No,
just opt out and just start fresh, make your own currency
like
again, have your own
like
ordeals?
yeah, like UK, they decided to the Brexit, right? They decided to get out of EU, although they never been using the euros as a real money, but
Ah,
they've been using like our market, to sell and buy.
okay.
So what I truly believe it's very helpful for Italy right now, it is to go back to the old currency, lira, and start all over from the beginning. Start to produce again from the ground. Start from simple stuff, and then start to get better. Because there's no way right now we can go in the economy and the business and getting better because everything's closed. It's starting again the system. It's not easy at all.
Yeah. Um,
There's like a big debt right now, really big one,
yeah.
and EU won't help us unfortunately.
Well,
From what I heard.
okay. What out of curiosity, what countries does Italy owe money to, or what is it involved with?
So EU, obviously, it's like United States, man. It's like
Yeah.
who owns the money? California owns money to the states. What's the main state? It's a country, right?
Ah.
So same thing. Italy owns money to EU, but from my understanding, the EU headquarter basically is in Brussels, okay, Belgium. So that's where all the money goes, obviously, and then they decided where to invest their money. But EU is located basically in Brussels, so
I
I
got you.
believe that we have to give all the money to them. Yeah, but the thing that it's crazy that I heard this morning in the news that the soccer player that they make like lots of money right there.
Of course. Of
They
course.
they got paid billionaire. They're billionaires right there, right?
Yeah.
So they're concerned because they don't play and they don't make money. So they wanted to go back on the field as soon as possible.
Oh yeah. Is that right? I mean,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people and a lot of pushback from, especially here in the States, right, with NBA stopping, questioning whether or not we're going to have any sports this year. Um,
Yeah.
but I just don't think it's wise to get people, rushed together as soon as possible. When the death toll and infection rates are still climbing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's the worst idea you could ever imagine because imagine okay, so this is what happened. Okay, so the prime minister said we're going to go back to the normal life on April 3rd, which is exactly 1 month after the big thing happened. Okay.
Yes.
So everybody like, oh my God, it's amazing. I like 2 more weeks, I can manage. Don't worry, totally fine. Today, the prime minister said, wait for it. We have to wait a couple of more weeks, maybe the end of April. So they're pushing till. So I've heard that they want to do that till they have to stay in quarantine till June. From what I heard on the news. So, and I'm telling you right now, nobody's gonna stay at home for 40 days. Nobody. It's impossible. They all taking the excuse to take it out the dog or they need to take some fresh air. Yeah, obviously you see people singing outside, right? Have you seen that, right?
Yeah, playing the piano on their balcony
Playing
and
the piano or DJ outside. Yeah, you see that. Yeah. But obviously you cannot lock these people down at home. Can you imagine the same things here in the United States? How would affect it? I mean, do you see people doing that out here in the United States?
I mean, I've definitely seen a reduction of people here. Just out and about on a regular basis. I mean, there's hardly any traffic now. However, for how long will this last? Before people are just like, fuck this. I'm fine. It's probably going to be a month maximum before everyone's just like, fuck this, I'm out. And they just start walking back out, going to malls again. I mean, here's the thing though. Even though people do go back out and they do want to kind of return to some type of normalcy, I don't think it's going to be like we thought it was. I don't think restaurants are still going to be like, come on in, sit down, come on in. It's going to be delivery still. It's going to be pickup.
Think about like airlines. Think about airlines. How are you going to fly?
Exactly. They're going to have to completely change how they filter the air, how they cram seats together. They might have to have individual cabins. They might have to reimagine how business is conducted. It may be how we're talking right now, only through video chat and you work from home. What does the future look like if this gets worse to the point that people are too scared to get out? We're gonna have robots deliver our food. I mean, what's the whole thing? How do we meet people? How do we connect with people?
That's the main thing that we're all scared about in Europe right now because they're saying like, okay, when all of this is gonna be over, how are we gonna interact with other people? Like you said, like how are we gonna go out and have a drink or an aperitif outside?
Yeah.
How do you know that person sitting next to me had never got the virus? How do you know that? So it's gonna be a completely different thing. Like you said, you brought out like a very, very tough problems like that we're going to see pretty soon. how are we gonna manage, like, for example, flight? I'm
Mm.
going. I'm in Italy like once in a year. I'm flying back home like once in a year. September, it's very cheap.
Yes.
Nobody's there, so very cheap moment to go to Europe. But I'm thinking, like, right now, how will I manage this flight, 12 hours on the plane with the people that might be in quarantine, and or they've never been into quarantine situation, and they still have a virus on it, and that's the thing. Kind of scared me.
I
I
mean,
don't know if this year I'm gonna go home.
yeah, because I mean, the big two things that jump to my mind, right? One thing is that when you travel, you might have to, when going to another country, there might be a week's period where you just stay at a hotel or a room where the government health officials have to check on you and make sure that you're okay, to make sure you're not spreading anything. You know, what if that
Yeah.
happens? The other thing that I was, kind of worried and concerned about was, um, you know what? Damn it, I just lost it. But I mean, the first one, culture. Second one was culture, right? There's a lot of cultures in the world that when they see each other, kiss each other on the cheeks. Where
Oh
they see
yeah.
each other, they give each other firm handshakes. They hug. You know what I mean? What happens if culture changes from this? You know, because
Oh
people
yeah.
are too scared to embrace. I mean, that's a really scary thought that could totally freak people out.
I totally agree with you because as at first, like you said about, like, culturally, we start to hug. In
Yes.
Italy, my region, we start to hug each other. So this time, when I'll see my family, it's gonna be
Mm.
like, hey, just step back. I don't want to give you the virus if I have a virus and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a completely different thing. You're definitely right. It's different. Imagine as a single guy trying to dating a girl. Just try to imagine how tough is that gonna be. Come on.
If
Tinder right now,
bro,
Tinder in the stock market, crashed down right now. I'm telling you.
bro, it is hard enough in the post hashtag Me Too movement for guys on Tinder to be, swiping.
Exactly, exactly.
It's gonna be a whole nother ball game after this.
Exactly. You're definitely right. So that's the situation. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a completely different thing.
Uh,
And well, like I said, I've heard that there's a cure in Japan, and it's working pretty good in the northern part of Italy. So I'm a very optimistic person, and I believe that they will find a cure. Maybe not today, but maybe in a couple of days,
mhm.
and we can go back to our normal life.
Yeah.
Don't forget that they said that they put lots of money to create the vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to create the antidoti. So once they find that, we can go back to our normal life.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take a while, true story.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's gonna, as a single guy, it's gonna be really tough. I'm telling you.
Well,
it's gonna be really, really tough.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a time when it just kind of goes back to normal. You know,
It's gonna take a year.
it'll be a little while, but yeah, no, I have faith. I have faith.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, one thing that's good that's kind of coming out of this is the entire world. I think is starting to realize that we have to look past borders, right? Because um, this was not anyone's real doing. You know what I mean? It wasn't anyone's intention to all of a sudden create this a horrible pandemic, say, right? And so in the future, if something bad, gets out again, whether it's intentional or unintentional, we have to act collectively to help make sure our species survives and doesn't get wiped out um, the plague, Um,
Yeah.
so I think by going through this, it's bad, but it's not as bad as it could have been. You know,
Yeah.
If it was like a plague and all of a
It
sudden,
would be worse.
yeah, 80% of the population just drops dead, then holy crap, it's turning into anarchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
people don't know how to collaborate and get together and create governments anymore. They're too reliant on their smartphones and dipshittery.
Yeah. No, true story. It is true. I have a question for you. Do you see people walking outside of your door? Do you see people like going out for a walk or
Yeah.
bike around?
Yeah.
You do see them?
Yep.
Dude, when I said that to my parents and my friends in Italy, they're like, "Wow, yeah." I said to them, "Mamma mia!" They were
Yeah.
like, "What the hell is going on over there?"
Yeah. No, I mean, I went to the grocery store to pick up some toilet paper. Thank goodness they had some, and
Lucky boy, lucky
a
guy,
few
man. I'm
other
still
things.
looking for it.
Yeah. So, just as a treat, I was going that way anyway. I decided to drive along the coast, just to kind of see, blue water or something like that, just to kind of, see something different. And
Yep.
there's still freaking people jogging right along the coast, and I swear I still saw a few people snuck onto the beaches. I was like, holy shit. The fuck?
That's the thing. In my country, everything is closed. I'll
Yeah.
send you a video. I'll send you a video that
Please
they
do,
made
please do.
that. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to send it to you right now, but I will
No.
definitely do that.
Send it to me later. That's gonna be awesome to check out and see.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like when I said that to my parents, they're like, why they don't wear any masks? Why they don't have any gloves? Why they don't put like something to cover their hair? It's out there. It's a contagious. It's really that's how the virus go so viral.
Yeah.
That's why it went so viral because they heard about Italy. They're like, yeah, we're on the other side of the United States. Maybe we won't have it. You heard what happened to New York. You heard what's going to happening right now.
Oh yeah.
Decided to close the entire part of the East Coast. So.
Yeah, New York's devastated. I mean, and it hasn't even gotten to the worst part yet. They're still reporting new infections.
That's why I'm locking myself at home. I don't want to get that virus.
Yes.
And I don't want to give to anybody. Because obviously in Italy, it's different. Like I said, I always said Italy's different than any other countries.
Yeah.
Hospitals is free. So you can go to the hospital, could get like some cure. But obviously with this situation right now, they're all full. So let me tell you a story that happened to a friend of mine.
Yeah.
She has a baby, and he needs to go to the hospital like once in a month because he has some problem to his lung. He cannot breathe that well. So a couple of weeks ago, we chat, and she goes like, I went to the hospital. My son fainted right in front of me because he said, Mom, I don't feel well. So she called the ambulance.
Yeah.
They got there. They put a mask on him to give some oxygen. He was not conscious in that moment. So they drove directly to the hospital. What happened was that at the hospital, the lady said, I'm sorry, ma'am, there's not enough room over here. You have to sign it and cure your son at home. So that's also reality. If you have like a heart attack, because they're scared that you will get the virus. You will get that for sure.
Yeah.
So they're kind of scared that if you're staying there, you will get the virus. So they said, you sign this and go home. We're going to send you a couple of things and cure your son from home. That was one case. Imagine how many people, for example, they suffer these things. They need to go to the hospital, but they cannot.
That brings up a really interesting case because if someone, say for example, is having a heart attack, or if someone is suffering from anxiety and has an asthma attack and they can't get their inhaler or something like that right away, and they're pushing COVID patients first, what does that mean for the rest of the population? Does that mean we're all going to be screwed eventually down the line? Does that mean more people that have these preventative diseases, that we can fix, right? Does that mean that they're going to be affected? That they're going to die?
That's the thing. It's a very nice question. It's a amazing question.
Yeah.
And it's a tough situation that I don't know what the answer is because now there's red code every 10 minutes in the major hospital, General Hospital in Palermo.
Mm-hmm.
And they cannot take care of people who suffer of asthma or heart attack or stuff like that because the main thing right now is to cure this virus. So yeah, it's a sad situation, but there's nothing we could do.
Yeah, I mean, what's absolutely crazy is it seems almost like we should be testing everyone possible and quarantining everyone immediately to stop the spread now.
Yeah, that's a good solution as well.
You know,
But
uh,
I'm considering myself lucky
yeah,
that I can work from home, and I moved here like just in time before this virus would get viral in the United States, because I was in Utah a couple of weeks ago, right? I was lucky. I drove 14 hours, come back here, and when I got here, I said, "Yeah, I'm free. I could go out." Wrong. I locked myself at home. Or now this is my like third week, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very sad.
Yeah.
There's like you said, there's like a situation where we have to try to see what is the best solution. What is the for people suffer heart attack or cure about the virus. And a good solution might be, like you said, every single person should test it every single day to see who has a virus, who's not. And the one that has a virus, stay in quarantine in a special section.
Yeah. I mean, in a country where everyone feels entitled to do their own thing and be free and make their own decisions, I think that might be very difficult unless we had the army outside on every block, ready to go. If anyone decides to venture off. There's certain other countries that aren't really necessarily saying it, but I think they're counting on herd immunity. And that's the idea that, after 60+% of your population does get sick or does get infected and recovers from this, you then have enough antibodies and people resistant to the virus. Then once they're mingling around, this virus will no longer be
active,
as deadly. So there might be certain people out there that still do get some symptoms, but it may be like the 80% of the people out there that have very mild to almost influenza type symptoms.
Yeah. My dad was telling me that it's kind of weird how the situation is right now because, it's a virus, right? It's a flu virus. It has been around for years.
Yeah.
Because there's a herpes virus, there's a different type of virus out there. But this one here, we don't. He says like I still don't understand how this thing got so spread out so fast. We had it like years ago, Ebola. We had an H1N1. We had a different type of virus, but didn't go that spread out.
Yeah,
like,
bird flu.
Come? Yes. How is that? Yeah, exactly. So he says I still don't understand if everything has started in China. How come this virus from China got to Italy? So it's like, I'm telling you, it's a very, like an example. If the virus started in Greenland, right, it got very populated in San Diego. How is that possible? There's like 15 states before getting there.
Yeah.
And you have to land to get a different flight.
Plus the climate's different,
Yeah, exactly. On a plane or when you got there, it's cold and it's hot. So how is that possible?
Well, same thing from China to Italy. Climate's a little bit different there too. Why did it affect Italy so badly so quickly?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're still trying to understand how is that possible. Why we didn't stop it in the beginning? We've seen so my dad was telling me that the first symptoms they were like people they started feeling cold.
Okay.
And started feeling cold, and he got some pictures of people hugging ice because it's really cold. So then they start to have some cough problem in the throat, and after that you start to having some problem in your lungs. So he says if you have if you have the virus, but if you don't have any symptoms and you want to see if you have something in your virus, take a deep breath, hold your breath for 10 seconds. And then let it go. If you have some problems or something disturb your lungs, you might have some kind of infection.
Like if you're wheezing, or if you have a pain in your lungs,
pain or you feel like your muscle kind of pain.
Yeah.
That might be an infection. That might be being caused by something. If you're fine and breathe normally, you're good technically. This is what he says, and I don't give that as a something that we must do it, but it's also a way to understand how, if we have it or not, potential problem to our lungs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if that'll be right every single time, but I was listening to one of the EMS, or it was some type of paramedic, talking about them receiving patients that have been in car accidents. And so they would do x-rays to make sure everything's all right. And all of a sudden they start noticing that their lungs are inflamed and showing signs that they are infected, just like some of the patients who are bedridden, but they aren't showing any physical signs yet, like you're saying. But they are having the lung inflammation or the lung issues already.
Yeah.
And so, that person that was just brought in could be a week or so before showing symptoms.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same concept. You have to. The main thing that my dad is every day. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Drink lots of water. Stay home. Open the window. Don't interact with anybody out there.
Mm.
Nothing. When you go to the register, when you go to grocery store and pay, go to the self-payment and wear gloves, because you never know who was the person before you. If they had a virus, touch the touch screen, and you could get that too.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's crazy.
And then go about your business.
Exactly. So that's the situation right now.
Yeah.
I hope that everything will be fine before summer. Why before summer? Because I want to go to Italy during the summer. But I heard that the virus doesn't like that much the hot temperature. So hopefully, here in San Diego, we live in a great place where the weather, the climate's amazing.
Yes.
So maybe we won't get hit like as Italy.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Just asking you, because you said that the north and south is affected slightly differently. What's the temperature climate changes between north and south?
So, for example, northern part of temperature would be like.
I need it in terms of Fahrenheit.
Yeah, 65. That's what I said. I said 65 northern part with like a fog every day.
Okay.
And the southern part would be like 72, 74, like ish right now.
Okay.
So there's like a kind of little difference,
mm-hmm.
but during the summer, that's when you feel the difference.
Gotcha.
The northern part could be like a 28. I'm sorry, could be like 70, 72. The southern part could hit like 100, 110.
Wow. Okay.
Humid. So with that humidity, man, it's terrible. Worse than anything you ever imagine in your life, because you start to sweat it with no reason.
Yeah. It's almost like in a tropical area,
Exactly. Pretty much the same concept.
So I had a question to you. Sorry, just to go back to the infection rate in Italy, but is what percentage of north versus south is infected? Is it more heavily concentrated in the north?
Yeah, it is. Yes, I would say percentages. I would say 75 the northern part, the southern part it's the 25. So it's getting now worse, but there's nobody on the street.
Yeah.
Nobody's walking, so they're trying to keep the virus out, keep inside.
Mm-hmm.
So 25, 75, that's the main thing, I would say.
Gotcha. And so you're
pretty tough.
What the people are in the southern?
Yeah, most of my friends are in the southern part. I have my cousin; she lives in the northern part.
Uh-huh.
So we chat like a couple of weeks ago. We've been chatting a lot, and
that's good.
She was saying that she got like stuck. It's called the red zone. The red zone, you're not allowed to go out. It was the first red zone in the northern part, so you're not allowed to go out. Military, they're there to patrol the entire area. If you go out, prison for 3 years. So she was very surprised to hear like this kind of things. And just to cheer her up, to make her feel a little bit better, we started to chat and talk about like 80s music.
Hey,
So
so
80s,
you got
yeah, man.
you got to go back to the classics. You gotta
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah,
little
you know
throwback.
that, but like New Kids on the Block or
Hey,
stuff
here we
like
go.
that.
Perfect.
So yeah, it was fun, but at the same time, I can feel her frustration because it's not easy.
Yeah.
Um, Going outside, military, wearing masks, and want you to stay indoor. I've seen now that situation as well in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
But in Spain, in the first part, they started to laugh about it because they were saying like, "Well, we don't have anything." Now in Spain, it's even worse than Italy right now.
No
What
kidding.
I heard. Yeah, because they undervalued the situation.
Yeah.
They didn't got any protections, nothing, and yeah, it's getting worse. I have one of my best friends. He lives in Tenerife Island, and he showed me like what happened, like a regular day on the beach. They literally decided to shut it down the entire beach all of a sudden, and you see like cops walking like in a squad and telling people to get out, go back, go to your town.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do to make sure that everyone just kind of stays inside. If it's really getting to the point where you're gonna have to dig mass graves and start going that
Yeah.
route, because that's just crazy there. I mean, what's interesting is that it sounds like Mexico might be following Spain's uh, example there. Mexico is not heeding, from what I hear, to health concerns, and I think they only had like 250 ventilators throughout the entire country.
The entire country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the entire country,
I heard that too.
and we're freaking out about having 20,000 at this location. I mean, I still think we
Yeah.
need a bunch. We still need a bunch to help combat this. But I mean, if Mexico's approach is similar to Spain's, I think they're going to be running into some trouble.
Yeah,
Soon.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. They don't know 250 for the entire country. Just to give an idea, Mexico City, population in Mexico City is 25,000 people. 25,000 people. So it's more, 36,000, it's just California State.
Yeah.
36 is it's a Mexico City. So 250 or 225,000, it's nothing.
Yeah. That's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. It's like you, and that's it. No more. Wow, it's gonna be really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now that's the situation anywhere. In 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 Italy, it's happening the same thing because they're kind of find out that there's not enough room in the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Like my friend, I was telling you before.
Yeah.
And they said you might want to go back home. So yeah, it is what it is.
Definitely.
Luck at home, breathing with this mask every day, going outside, and that's what I do so far.
There you go. Well, I mean, out of curiosity, what are your friends and family doing to keep from boredom? Like how are they getting through after being inside for so long?
You don't want to know, man. You don't want to know. For real. You don't want to know. No. You don't really want to know, really. I mean, like I had this couple friends of mine. They have 2 kids, and they're playing with them the whole day. They're playing not video games, but they're playing with them like Monopoly or very old school games. They're playing with the Uno.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain people that they do something different when they're one-on-one, but with the family, they're trying to gather and having a good time. Actually, what I've noticed is that everybody in Italy, that was 3 days ago, I'm in a group chat with my friends, and they said, you might want to buy these things. Like this, we're all going to make a pizza, and whoever's going to make the best pizza will win like 50 points, as a joke, as a funny thing. Obviously, I didn't win because my pizza was horrible, but it was funny to see like how all my friends were like 25 people in this chat. They posted pictures of the pizza square, pizza with. It was fun. It was something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep us busy in this way.
Well, that's good.
But obviously, 40 days like that, I don't don't know how can you last. How long can you last?
All right, this time we're doing pot stickers. Go.
Let's make some crackers. See what's the best one. So I find out that 4 of my good friends in this chat, they're really good chefs. They're like, oh my god, this is the best pizza ever. This is the best quality of bread. I'm like, okay, you're a good chef. They discovered they became a good. They're a really good chef after all.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, I know. Apparently, I'm the worst. Well, I don't have the perfect kitchen, the perfect oven. Come on, let's put it this way. Come on, they got like a very handmade oven there. Everything is different.
Yeah, well, when they're working with industrial equipment, I mean, it's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I need a handicap. Give me some bonus points here, at least 3.
Yeah, exactly. I should have started like the conversation like that. Guys, give me 3 handicaps points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I bought everything from what's it called? Trader Joe's. Everything was good. The quality was good, but I'm not a good pizza man. Unfortunately, my hands are.
No. Can you toss it? Can you toss it down?
No, no way.
No.
No. I just put it on. I just put it here on the table. Use the mattarello.
Yeah.
And that's it. No way. I would have made it like the worst pizza ever. So
Really?
it was still good. I ate it, but not the best.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, I mean, besides that, though, what else are you doing for keeping out of boredom for yourself?
We could talk about me or my friends.
About you, yeah. Because
Well,
I mean,
I bought. Well, my brothers, they gave me. I love to read, and my
Nice.
brothers, they, for my birthday, which was a month ago, no, March 16th, they brought me a Kindle.
nice.
So, and I bought like 3 books, and already I keep myself busy in that way. Then what else? I chat with my friends from Italy and play PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I work out this morning indoor, obviously, no run, nothing. But yeah, that's what I do every day.
That's awesome. I got 50 Shades of Grey for my birthday there that I think I'm gonna really start cracking into. Yep. I got the trilogy.
My God, man. You got the entire trilogy? Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Super stoked. I mean, I started reading the first chapter a little while ago, and I think I'm feeling more inclined to get back into it and polish that sucker off.
So in a few days, I'm gonna ask you how did you spend your free time during quarantine?
My right arm is gonna be huge, bro. Great book, I gotta tell you.
Well, thank God I got this one here digital, so
Yeah.
I don't need to swipe ahead. So.
You don't have to worry about your pages sticking there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm reading right now. What's it called? Eat by Stephen King.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Like 1,600 pages.
Wow.
So and I'm a page 150, so I still have lots of things.
You still have
pages to swipe.
Yeah, you still have about a month left or so.
I would say even more, but
more than that?
I have enough time right now, so I could do whatever I want.
Heck yeah, you take all the way till June.
Yeah, for real. It's funny because even when I'm working, because I can work from here during my lunch break, I take the Kindle and start to read. Yeah, like that.
That's awesome. It's like you never skipped a beat then, because then you work, take your lunch break, and then right back to work.
Yeah, exactly. Even although it's a great thing to work from home.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I do not.
You
like
feel stir crazy?
Work from home.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because I want to get out and see people. Because I want to get out and see a different environment. And don't get me wrong, the apartment is amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, you should come and see it. When all of this is over, you should come and see it. Better than my previous place.
Yeah, the next time we're going to do like an episode like MTV Cribs or something like that. Hey, check out my place.
Oh, so there's a fountain. There's a fire right there.
Yeah, this is my Nike shelf. Jordans for days, yo.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I think it was great to kind of, see what you thought about it. What your family was up to, different things that they were kind of seeing happening. Um, but yeah, no, I got my fill from what you were talking about.
I have a question for you.
Ask
How are
away, my
you
friend.
gonna? Okay, so how are you gonna manage your quarantine? Do you have your mask? You have your gloves? You wash your hands every day?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I recently got some nitrile gloves. So whenever I'm out and about, I got those suckers on, touching things like if I have to go to the ATM for some reason. I
For
mean,
some reason,
bro, gloves and immediately in the garbage.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, just like that.
Yeah.
And
Where do you find the mask and the gloves?
The gloves, I mean, it was just something I found on ordering online. I found it on Amazon. It was, a lot of it was sold out. All of a sudden, one package popped online. Boop, I bought that sucker and I got them. I wasn't able to get too
How
many.
much was it? How much was it?
Gosh, it was like $20 for a pack of 100. So,
Okay, okay.
I mean, it's definitely
Did you?
pricier than it's ever been.
For sure, for sure.
But
So,
I wanted to try and go about that. Masks are very hard to find right now. Very hard
I
to find.
know. Actually, I know that I find out if you go on the stock market and you try to find a mask, they quote them. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. They're so hard to find, man.
They got a $200 mask, $200 right here, 200. Oh
Yeah,
my
no, for real.
gosh!
Go there and find them. You have more chance to find them in the stock market than out there right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, what's crazy is that people are looking through, old stockpiles and things from, random bits that they've had over the years. Like I think there was a priest. Um, he was thinking back and remembered that during the SARS outbreak during 2006, I believe it was, when everyone was worried. Also, right around that time, they decided to stockpile a bunch of masks, gloves, gowns, food, different things like that. And when they didn't end up needing it, I think they stored it in the crypt underneath the church itself. And so when the priest did go down to check to see if they still had some of that materials left, they found unopened masks, like hundreds of thousands of masks and things that they then donated across the country. Most of which I think ended up in New York. But this just happened last week. I was like, oh my god,
Oh man.
call it, talk about just in the nick of time.
I know. Man, can you imagine right now if I really want to buy that mask over there? I can. That guy could ask me, "You want this mask? $100. It's yours."
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It is crazy. You want to buy these things? If you want to buy a part, oh, and good luck with the toilet paper.
I saw. Oh
Toilet
my god!
paper.
I saw the other day. Right, someone was trying to sell a four pack of Cottonelle toilet paper for $80. $20 a roll. $20 a roll. Can you believe it?
Oh my god.
That's the most expensive shit I ever took.
So just a second, because I'm running out of juice on my phone. Just a second.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
So yeah, I cannot believe that how hard it is right now to find toilet paper. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I went to Vons. I went to 7-Eleven. I went to Big Lot and Home Depot. Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Dude, do you have any suggestions where to find toilet paper?
What I've been hearing though is Costco is starting to get their supplies restocked, and so what they're doing is to maximize how many days that they have paper products on the shelves. Is they're limiting how much they're putting out on the shelves per day. So what you got to do is you got to go to Costco early morning. The same thing with CVS Pharmacy. You got to go there early in the morning. Target, I feel like it's a hit or miss. Some of the most of the times for the paper products, the small markets, the mom and pop markets, end up having them because they have alternative supply chains that the big chains that mass produce these things go through.
I'm gonna stop by not Costco because the Costco the line was horrible the other week.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go again to Big Lot or what's it called, Home Depot. Maybe I'll get lucky. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, shoot, hardware stores would be another good spot. Try Lowe's. You know, you got to go Ace Hardware.
Yeah, Lowe's.
Something like that.
True story. Yeah, I will get or IKEA. They might they have it for the house, so that you might find that over there, right?
Yeah. You want what? One?
Toilet meatball and
Yeah. We have horse meatballs or the toilet paper. Who wants one? Yo, you guys legit. I'll take both. $1 for either or? Hell yeah. It's gonna be cheap as all hell.
yeah, for real. Welcome to IKEA.
Yeah. Welcome to the IKEA. Man, well, I mean, anything else you wanted to talk about or mention to people or get out there?
I'm glad that I'm back in San Diego. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Be positive because everything will be all right pretty soon. I want to tell them stay at home, stay close to your family. This is the right time to enjoy probably your family.
Yeah.
Don't take anything for granted because life might change.
Yeah.
And even the transportation, like we were chatting before, even the relation with other people, it's going to be completely different from now on. So this is the right time to probably stay together and start to understand better probably what we really want, what we are here for, or try to spend a quality time with your family. Get I don't know, do a pizza contest, do a pasta contest, do something with your friends. And this is definitely the right time. You have the whole time. Every day seems the same, right?
Yeah.
So stay at home and enjoy your family. This is my suggestion, my recommendation so far.
Yeah.
I wish I could have my family here, but they're on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind words and good thoughts coming from you, and I think as long as your family and everything, sticks to, your dad's a doctor, so he already knows, how to handle this situation. As long as he's working, the best he can, I think everyone's going to turn out all right, as best we can anyway. I mean, especially when during these times, I think I heard on the radio the other day when days turns to weeks and weeks turns to days. It just kind of fades together and blends. So it's important to kind of keep busy and keep your mind busy. Don't
lose the hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing too is when people kind of get stuck all in the news and they hear all this negative stuff, it can send them spiraling. So keeping a positive outlook also helps.
That's true. I mean, now
Mm-hmm.
we have more time to watch news.
Mm-hmm.
When before we used to watch 30 minutes of news, so we heard a little glimpse of what's going on around the world. Now we have 8 hours watching news, and it's not good for your brain.
Yeah.
You have to keep yourself busy and do the things that you like to do it right now. Turn off TV, listen to some good music, and don't listen to news.
Yeah.
That I was trying to do this today.
Mm-hmm.
It's my goal. Don't watch the news. Just watch funny things. And go back to my fantastic book over there.
There we go.
Yeah, man. And I'm ready. Can't wait. 1,600 pages. I can't wait. It's more than the Bible, I believe. It's gonna be tough.
Well, that's gonna be an awesome one then. Anyway, Luca, thank you so much for hopping on and talking to us today, and talking to me today specifically.
You're the best. You know that. You're the best right there. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Luca. Well, I hope to have you on again soon. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. Let's keep in touch. I'll keep you posted.
Yes, please do. I'm looking forward to hearing what's next, especially coming from you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bud.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.